A Shadow in the North, the story of Southlake Safari Zoo. While many UK zoos strive for excellence, this is not always the case. The story of Southlake Safari Zoo is a troubling one. This zoo, located in Cumbria, gained a very unfortunate reputation. It was often called Britain's worst zoo by the media and animal welfare groups. This label was not given lightly. It came after many years of serious concerns and sad incidents. The zoo operated for around 30 years, from 1994. During its operation, Southlake Safari Zoo faced numerous allegations. Reports spoke of poor animal welfare. There were claims of neglect by staff. Concerns were also raised about a difficult working environment within the zoo. These issues were investigated multiple times by authorities. The findings often supported the worries expressed by inspectors and the public. This cast a long shadow over the establishment. The zoo, also known at times as Southlake's Wild Animal Park, was founded by David Gill. Over the decades, it attracted many visitors. However, behind the scenes, problems mounted. Investigations and official reports documented a shocking number of animal deaths. Nearly 500 animals died at the zoo over a period of just a few years. These were not all due to old age or unpreventable illness. Many deaths were attributed to neglect, poor management, and unsuitable conditions. This included animals dying from exposure to cold. Some suffered from hypothermia because their enclosures were not adequate. The living conditions for many animals at Southlakes were found to be appalling. Some animals were kept in unsuitable social groupings. This could lead to stress and fighting. The basic needs of the animals for a clean, safe, and stimulating environment were often not met. This lack of care had a severe impact on their physical health. It also affected their mental well-being. Animals living in such poor conditions often show signs of mental distress. This can include stereotypic behaviors. These are repetitive actions that have no obvious purpose, like pacing back and forth. Such behaviors were observed in some animals at Southlakes. They are a clear indication that an animal is not coping with its environment. It signals boredom, frustration, or stress. The psychological suffering of these animals was a major concern for welfare experts. It showed a fundamental failure in their care. The problems at Southlakes were not just about physical facilities. Reports also mentioned a bullying culture among staff. This could have made it difficult for keepers to raise concerns. It might have contributed to a lack of proper care. When staff are not supported or are afraid to speak out, animal welfare can suffer greatly. The combination of poor infrastructure, neglect, and a problematic work environment created a perfect storm of suffering for the animals unfortunate enough to live there. The serious problems at Southlake Safari Zoo did not go unnoticed. They caused widespread public outrage. Animal welfare organizations campaigned tirelessly for action. The government and regulatory bodies faced increasing pressure to intervene. The case of Southlakes became a clear example of why strong zoo licensing and inspection systems are essential. It showed what can happen when standards are not met and enforcement is weak. This terrible situation ultimately became a catalyst for positive change in the UK. As a direct result of the issues highlighted at Southlakes, new laws and regulations for UK zoos were developed. These new rules came into effect in 2025. They aim to significantly improve animal welfare standards across all zoos and aquariums in the country. The government recognized that existing regulations needed to be tougher. They also understood that inspections needed to be more rigorous. The goal was to prevent another situation like Southlakes from ever happening again. This was a crucial step forward. The new standards address many of the failings seen at Southlakes. They include stricter requirements for animal housing and environmental enrichment. There are clearer rules about veterinary care and nutrition. Zoos now face more detailed scrutiny of their staff, training, and management practices. The process for granting and renewing zoo licenses has been tightened. This means zoos will have to demonstrate a much higher commitment to animal welfare to operate legally. These measures are designed to protect the animals. While new laws are important, their effectiveness depends on proper enforcement. Regular and thorough inspections are vital. Regulatory bodies must have the resources and authority to act when standards are not met. The public also has a role to play by reporting concerns. The legacy of Southlake Safari Zoo is a sad one. However, it has led to a renewed focus on animal welfare in UK zoos. It is hoped these new measures will ensure all animals in captivity receive the care and respect they deserve. Inspections revealed issues with enclosure safety and animal husbandry. There were reports of animals escaping. The sheer number and severity of the problems led to widespread criticism. Animal welfare organizations campaigned for improvements or closure. The situation became a national concern for animal lovers. Eventually, the weight of evidence and public pressure became too much. After years of scrutiny and failed inspections, the zoo's future became uncertain. The original owner lost his license to operate the zoo. New management took over, promising changes. However, the legacy of problems was difficult to overcome. Finally, it was announced that South Lakes Safari Zoo would close its doors. This happened on December 31st, 2024. The process of rehoming the remaining animals to other zoos then began.